So, um, super awesome to see you guys again. I hope I'm already live. I know yesterday there are some little issues with Go Live. I thought I'm not live. So I think now I'm live. Okay, awesome. So welcome lovers from all of around the world, from all of the homes around the world, wherever you are stuck right now. Super grateful for you to joining, watching this. So yesterday in the video that I shared, I talked about a big myth that is actually sabotaging men from their practice of non-ejaculation. So we talked about the idea that usually the books and the teachers that even talk about it, they limit the whole concept of ejaculation control to the forceful retention, to edging or practices of that sort, and they kind of leave it there. And this is unfortunately an incomplete process. So what happens if this is basically the only thing you do, is that most likely you're not going to get the benefits, the results that you're hoping for. It can also mean that you're going to have blue balls, a lot of tension, pain, discomfort. And this is indeed the whole story of doctors telling men that you have to ejaculate for health benefits. And that's exactly what happens, because if you just forcefully keep it in, it can be damaging to you. It can actually create tension around the nerve endings and can impact your ability to sense sensations in that very important part of your body. So all in all, it can actually be really bad. So like I said yesterday, today I want to reveal to you the missing part, the missing link, the missing step in the process. So let's look at what usually you would hear about non-ejaculation. So we're talking about keeping it in, right? We think that non-ejaculation or ejaculation control or sexual mastery, whatever are the terms used today, we think that really what it's about is about keeping the semen in or keeping the energy in, right? But that's not actually the full process. Because what you want to do is you want to step into the second phase, which is actually spreading this energy through your body. So step number one, which you may have heard about if you read something or work with someone in that regard, this is the masculine approach. It's about actually using your energy, your discipline, your strength to keep the energy in. But then the second step is the feminine approach, right? It's the state of relaxation. And if you remember from any time when you had orgasm, an orgasm is a state of relaxation. This is why most men who do go into the whole ejaculation control practice are not having orgasm, because what you're doing is the opposite. You're tensing the body, trying to keep it all in, and from that place it's impossible to have an orgasm. So the second step in the whole process is the step that makes this whole idea pleasant, that gives you these deep states of bliss and ecstasy that allows you to have full body orgasm, energy orgasm, and multiple orgasms. So let's look at this whole process a little bit more. So the first step, the masculine part. This is when you build up your energy through arousal, and then you want to contain the energy by keeping it in. So you're keeping it. It's like you're putting the chain or the wall around it. You're not going out, right? So it's like you're forcefully keeping it. It's like imagine the police trying to create a barrier and barricade, like people, you're not going to pass. That's sort of the energy that you're engaging with at this time. So that's the first step, or the first part of this masculine side of the process. Now, the second thing is what you want to start doing is actually push the energy out of your genitals. You're pushing. Now, you may have experienced some techniques that teach you how to do it. If you have been working with the pump in your pelvic floor, that's basically what we're doing. We're pushing the energy. Now, all of this part, that's the masculine side of the practice. And that's where most people end. We think that this is all there is. But then there's the second phase, the missing phase, and that's the feminine one. So once you step into the second phase, you're not pushing the energy, you're not using your strength or your willpower. What you're actually doing is you're pulling the energy into your higher chakras, into your higher body. So if you have ever heard anything about the masculine versus the feminine energies, yang versus yin. So when we talk about the masculine energy, that's the pushing energy. And you're very familiar with that because we live in times where most of the things are done from the masculine energy. Now, the feminine, it doesn't actually exert the same amount of energy. The feminine way is you're basically creating a state of attraction that pulls the energy in. It feels effortless. And yes, it is usually more natural for women to be in that energy because of how our society works. So what it means for you is that once you kept the energy in, forcefully kept it in, once you pushed it out of your genitals up into your body, now you need to receive it in your upper body. So you're pulling the energy in. So that's another set of techniques to pull the energy, not push, but pull it up. And then you want to do the final step, which is the relaxation into that energy. And that state is usually something very new for a man. Now, you know very well what it feels like when you have all of the arousal build up in your genitals and what it feels like to relax into the urge of ejaculation. And then with this sensation comes an orgasm. Now, relaxing into the energy in like your chest or in your head, that's a whole different experience. Now, this is like by nature, this is something usually new for men, and especially when we talk about sex. And here is some of the comments that you may have seen or may have thought yourself. How is it that a woman can teach it to a man? Like, what do I know about having a lingam and, keeping the ejaculation in? Now, here's the thing about this specific part. Not so much, because my physiology differs. But there is a reason why traditionally these were women who would introduce and initiate men into the arts of sacred sexuality. Because all you need is specific techniques to follow through phase 1, the masculine phase. But when it comes to phase 2, the feminine one, you most likely need a woman to guide you, because you're entering the area which is a mastery of women, because that's how we experience our sexuality. So when you actually start opening up to full body orgasm, your sexuality becomes very similar to a female sexuality. And there is depth and beauty in that. So, like I said, if you just follow the first part of the process, you're limiting your own possibilities. And if you're not having those deep orgasms, like, you really need to have great willpower to want to continue. Right? So you want the full process. But here's the thing. We're talking about the masculine phase, and then we're talking about the feminine phase. And that's your full process. However, there is something else that you also need to add. And that's the step 0. So before you actually go into those techniques that some people teach, in the phase 1, and few of us teach the phase 2 as well. But there's another step. It's like a preparation that you also need to know and go through to actually be able to follow phase 1 and phase 2. Without this, it's like you're going out into the crazy weather and you're not really sure what to do. So that step is something that we do before we actually go into the ejaculation control practices. So right now you have phase number 1, that's the masculine aspect of the practice, where you build up the energy, you keep it in, and then you push it out of the genital area. And then you have the feminine part, the feminine phase, which is about pulling the energy and relaxing. And there are specific techniques for each of these 5 stages. Plus, like I mentioned, there is step number 0, which is the preparation. So that's what I want to talk to you about tomorrow. So today you have the full process. Tomorrow I want to share with you what is that needed preparation so that you can actually be successful with all of the 5 steps of the process of ejaculation control. So once again, I will have a video for you tomorrow. So make sure to follow me, to check in, keep your notifications on wherever it is that you're seeing this video. Because tomorrow I will be sharing with you the details of step 0, and I will also share with you how you can actually master the full process so you can properly enjoy all of these incredible benefits of non-ejaculation, such as deep pleasure, full body orgasm, lasting longer, becoming the best lover, having the energy for other activities in your life. So thank you so much for tuning into this video, and I will be seeing you tomorrow. Mwah.